items and you ever want to turn those off and not have them in your renders, there's totally a way to do that. Second thing, I just want to show you guys really quick portal lights, because they're kind of fun. So I have this very gross portal light scene, and what am I doing? So basically what I have is a completely closed-in box, and I punch a hole in the side with a very ugly, questionable HDRI. It gives me very strange lighting. But this is basically what I get from that render. You can see it's like really grainy, it's pretty gross. And this is, again, another thing, so if I ever commented on anyone's assignments, like, a lot of your scene is really blurry, or, you know, really, like, grain in most of your scene, it's entirely possible that that's caused because since this is a closed cube and most graininess I find happens in shadows, the whole cube is effectively being shadowed because of the way that the dome light is calculating, because the light is technically shining in from everywhere instead of just this window. So that's what's causing most of the graininess here. You can use what's called a portal light to help eliminate some of that. And full disclosure, this has been working on my laptop, but for some reason was not working correctly yesterday when I tried this. But in Arnold, if you go down to Light Portal from your Lights menu, you throw that in. And basically you're just going to throw this, if you have like an opening in your wall, like in this case I have this weird little window, I'm just going to throw in this light portal here, make it more the size of my window. It's nothing super crazy, fancy, cool. Kind of there. So hopefully now if I re-render this, it should give you more or less the same effect. In this case it's, let's see what happens if I like move this into my wall. Nothing particularly interesting. Basically, if I had multiple windows in my scene, it would just end up not shining light through this one. So as soon as you put a portal light into your scene, it's only going to render your dome light from this portal light. So these are attached to your dome lights. They have no dome lights or physical skies, whatever you're using in Arnold. They have no settings for like color of their own. Unless I haven't found it, and I've pretty much looked through all these menus, they have no even settings for intensity. So anytime you want to edit like the shadows or the intensity of lights coming from portal lights, you need to edit the dome light itself. Let me just real quick, I'm gonna punch a hole in this other wall because I'm feeling destructive. Alright, so again, yesterday when I tried this, it like didn't work super terribly well, and I'm really not super sure why, because this works literally every other time I do it except on this computer. But normally what'll happen, like if I had a dome light, so I'll say, again, it'll pretty much cut the light from any of the other places. So like if I turn this around, I might make like a quick tutorial about this on my laptop where these actually function, because this computer is like super buggy. But theoretically, if I were to put this portal light in just this back window, it would only light my scene from this window, and this one would just be like a weird sort of hole in the background. In this case, it seems like it might actually be doing that a little bit. I'm going to go in and just turn off, because there's bounce light happening, so it's like kind of hard to see what's happening, so I'm just going to turn that off. And in this case, it does actually seem kind of like it is maybe lighting the scene only from this window. It's a little hard to tell. So I was looking at, students filed during my office hours, and they were having a lot of this graininess issue, and I suggested putting portal lights in. We actually did it on a computer that functioned with portal lights. And it sped up his renders dramatically, reduced a lot of the graininess, because basically they function more or less like area lights. They're just sort of projecting a HDRI through the area light. So it got rid of graininess, sped up his renders, and he had a little bit more control over his lights. So they fixed basically a lot of the issues that he was having with his scene. So if you guys are ever having that issues where, you know, your portal light is kind of making everything, your HDR dome light is making everything kind of grainy, I would recommend throwing some portal lights into your scene. on any computer except this one, they hook up automatically, so as soon as you put it in your scene, it's only rendering through that, or it's only lighting your scene with the portal lights rather than the HDRI. So barring the fact that this has been kind of a strange demo in the sense that portal lights don't really work on this computer apparently, are there any questions about portal lights or how to set them up? Alright. Yeah, sorry, this is kind of like a weird demo.